Have you ever started a weight loss program, felt completely determined, and then a few weeks later you found yourself doing the same things you were doing before? Most people blame themselves. They say, I don't have enough willpower. I don't think that's the real problem. My name's Armand Dupuis. I've been studying and teaching personal change, habit patterns, the subconscious mind, and higher states of consciousness for more than half a century. And one of the things I learned very early is this: knowing what to do and actually doing it are two totally different things. Take weight loss. Most people already know some of the basics. Move more. Eat in a way that supports your goal. Be consistent. The information is not necessarily the problem. The problem comes 3 weeks later, or 6 weeks later, or 3 months later, when the enthusiasm wears off and the old lifestyle starts coming back. That is where habit patterns becomes very important. A habit is something you have done and repeated often enough that you begin doing it with less conscious effort. We say it's unconscious. That can work for you or against you. You can develop a habit of walking every day, but you can also have a habit of sitting down every day with food in front of the TV. You can develop a new eating routine, but an old routine can take over again when you're tired, stressed, or distracted. And that's why I don't think that lasting change should be built around fighting yourself every day. Because if every healthy choice requires a battle, eventually you get tired of fighting. What you really want is for the healthier behavior to start feeling normal. Let me give you a simple example. Suppose you've decided you're going to walk every day. The first few days, you remember. You're motivated. You put on your shoes and go. But then, life happens. You get busy. The weather isn't great. You don't feel like doing it. And suddenly, you've missed 3 days, then a week, and you're right back where you started. The walking itself was never the hardest part. Making walking a part of your normal lifestyle was the hard part. And that principle applies to eating, exercise, sleep, relationships, confidence, almost any area of personal change. You don't simply want to force yourself to behave differently. You want to begin changing the pattern that keeps producing the old behavior. In my own teachings, this is where I use what I call the movie in your mind. You create a clear mental picture of the result as if it was already a part of your life. Not struggling to become that person. No, being that person. So rather than picturing yourself fighting to go for a walk, you picture yourself as a person for whom walking is a part of everyday life. Rather than thinking, I've got to lose this weight, you begin creating a different picture of yourself and the lifestyle you're living. Then, in my work, we take that process deeper by working with the movie in the alpha and theta brainwave states. That is part of the method I've been teaching for many years. Now, I'm not asking you to accept a theory because I say so. The important idea for today is much simpler. Ask yourself, what healthy behavior am I continually trying to force with willpower that really needs to become part of my normal behavior, my normal life? That is the habit to work on. Not 20 things. 1. Keep it simple. Make it repeatable. And stop judging yourself every time the old habit shows up. The old pattern was built through repetition. The new one needs repetition also. Research on habit formation supports that basic principle. Repeated behaviors, especially in consistent context, can gradually become more automatic. although the time required varies greatly from person to person. Now, if you'd like to learn more about how I work with habit patterns, the subconscious mind, and higher states of consciousness, subscribe or follow. And if you'd like to experience the alpha state for yourself, join the waiting list for my free Alpha Experience Masterclass. The link is in the description or in the pinned comment. Because lasting change is not simply about knowing more. It's about making the new way of living normal.